Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, which there's not a lot. Reality TV, which is going to be 90 Day Fiance, Diaries, and of course, today's Jeff Lewis Live. How are you? Oh, it keeps giving me that option. Oh, that's not what I wanted to share. Oh, okay. Anyways, it was giving me some message to share something. Anyways, how are y'all doing? Hello. Michael was, Whooper was first, then Michael Riley's jumping out of the pool. Lisa in Kentucky, Mary, Lucy, Cecile, Bridget, Mary again, a different Mary? Yes, a different Mary. Yvonne Gal, Diane, the way I see it. I love it. Happy Thursday. I hope y'all are having a fabulous day. It is nice and sunny here. I would love to be in my pool, but I think it's still a little bit chilly. I would actually have to warm it up. Anyways, I love lounging by the pool, lounging by the sun. Love it. Oh, Matlock is on today or tonight. Lisa reminds us that makes me think of Jason Ritter because Jeff was talking about Jason Ritter and having him on the show again, which we will absolutely talk about. Okay. Lots to talk about. Andy Cohen live this morning. I had no idea this actor is actually British, so we will talk about that very soon. I did start 90 Day Diaries. I'm very excited for it. I learned a lot about it, but I think they didn't show all the couples on episode 1. I don't know how many episodes it'll end up being, but I think I'm going to like it. I think all the couples I'm interested in, there's a lot that haven't been on in a while that I do want to hear what's going on with them. So I'm very excited for that. And then we will chat because today is pre-ChumpCon. So today, a lot of the Chumps, Jeff Lewis, Shane will be hopping on a plane to Las Vegas. A lot of Chumpettes are hopping on a plane. They are going to have so much fun. Technically, the activities start Friday night. But as you know, Paul and Patrick are already there. They're doing they're doing coffee reads. I think it's tomorrow that Scary Sherry is going to be there. I think she's all booked up, but I have no idea. She's Scary Sherry, SHERRI.com, I think. Anyways, and then all the festivities of ChumpCon. And I think some Chumpettes are going to meet up together. I am so excited for everyone to have so much fun. Can't wait to hear all about it. Jeff finally mentioned his tie today, my tie as he's calling it. So I was happy for that. I guess that's still good news. I was getting kind of worried because it was, 3 days of really not talking about tie at all. Okay, let's get into a little celebrity news. The only thing I know going on that I care about, I don't really care about it, but Teddy Mellencamp is keeping herself in the news, which I guess, understand you would maybe take some privacy and take some time off work and just rest and heal your body and hang out with your family. But anyways, it's in the news. I guess she's still doing obviously 2 Teas in a Pod with Tamara. I think it was on yesterday or today's episode. I'm not sure, but the news is that her dad, oh good Lord, what is his first name? John Mellencamp. My brain, I was like, Mellencamp. That they have a family plot of land, like this mausoleum, whatever, for everyone to get buried in. And he had the hard discussion, the emotional conversation that he really wants her to be buried there, amidst having to talk about this with her being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Now, I'm sure that kind of made the conversation come up a little quicker, but I'm like, if it's this family area, where else would she be buried? At this point, she's about to go through a divorce, so she's not going to be caring about where he's, buried. Anyways, not really sure why that's in the news, but there's really not a lot of going on. So, Sarah's asking what Chumpettes can report live for us. Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. Oh no, Jackie, I totally understand. Although we got so lucky with Luna. Luna is the easiest. She's laying right beside me. Now, she was just barking because the pool guy showed up and she loves barking at him. But also, if I let her out, she'd be just fine with him. Like yesterday, I had to let the AT&T guys in the backyard to take a picture of something, and I just let Luna out. So I'm like, are you okay with my dog? I said, I promise she's friendly. And they were like, yeah, no problem. And so I went out with her just to, just to make sure everything was okay. But you could tell there was two guys. One guy was absolutely okay with dogs, and the other guy was just like walking very slow. And I'm like, oh, she's fine. I'm like, Luna, come here. And then I thought, I keep saying her name. She keeps raising her head up. Anyways, finally, they literally took a picture in the back corner of my backyard, probably something for, pulling the fiber that they've been doing for Wi-Fi. And, I went ahead and brought her inside because I could tell this guy was so nervous. You know what I mean? Michelle says, oh, hello from sunny and warm Las Vegas. Oh my gosh, you're going to have so much fun. Yeah, Luna doesn't, she does not care. She doesn't get scared of any of that at all. So we're very thankful for that. She's been outside New Year's Eve in the backyard with us when we see fireworks going off all around us, 4th of July. She doesn't care about any of that. So luckily she doesn't get scared about lightning and thunder either, but I know a lot of dogs do. So it really makes me sad. Okay. NW Shelley, said, I listened to Two Teas in a Pod. It was more of a light discussion, and she asked him where her kids would be. He had a tiered system. Oh, so even her kids are going to be buried, which you don't know. They're going to grow up and get married, and have kids with their own. How big is this family plot? You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, but I'm just kind of like, well, where else would she be buried? You know what I mean? Is that really news? Is that all that's going on, really? Thank you, Christina. She's hitting number 31 as the thumbs up, as the like button. There's 99 of us on live right now. If you would please, before you come on live, if you would just hit that thumbs up button and then join the live, I would really, really appreciate it. If you're listening or watching as a replay, if you would go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Obviously, make sure you're subscribed. I would really appreciate it. Okay, I like to take that big button off that says, that's true. That's true. Lincoln the Golden says we shouldn't critique on anyone, how anyone deals with their illness. If Teddy wants to be public and share, let her. Maybe it helps her to share things. True. Oh, Michelle says, I'll hopefully have a glass of wine with some of the chumpettes. Oh my gosh, I love that. Thank you, Nick James. Oh, it's in Indiana. Okay, which is, I think, where he's from, maybe, right? For sure. Okay, let's chat Andy Cohen live. And the actor that I had no idea was even British. I'd never heard of him before. Y'all know I don't watch normal TV shows much as an adult. I really love reality TV, obviously. But Jason Isaacs, who is the dad from season 3 of The White Lotus, the guy that was popping lorazepam with no water, in a coma, worried about his family, almost tried to murder himself. And would you murder yourself? Whatever, end his own life and then murder his family, but he didn't. Was on Andy Cohen Live today. I had no idea he's British. He's from Liverpool, I think. So he had a very strong accent. But boy, he really cleared up things, because all this time I've been hearing that Mike White, the guy who wrote The White Lotus, is that his name? Michael White, the guy that did White Lotus, whatever, the genius, whatever, that he suggested to Jason Isaacs to watch or listen to Southern Charm, mainly Thomas Ravenel, is that his name? His specific accent. But Jason Isaacs says that's not true. Let me end this discussion now. I've been doing lots of interviews. I'm happy to talk about it, but I'm tired of people saying this. He's like, no, I am British, so I've got my own accent. He said, but it's a very specific city in North Carolina that has a very specific accent, and especially 2 of the ways they say some of their words, 2 of the syllables, whatever he said. So he didn't get any of this. He's never watched Southern Charm. His family and his 2 college kids, apparently, maybe his wife, love Bravo. But he's like, I've never seen the show, never listened to him. I actually listened to some North Carolina politicians, and that's kind of how I got my accent for it. Yeah, I think Durham, North Carolina. He said it's very specific. So very, very cool. Thank you, Heather, reminding people to hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. It was a very good interview. He kind of interrupted Andy Cohen a lot. And I'm like, Andy Cohen likes to talk a lot also. So it was kind of interesting because Andy would start to ask him something, and I felt like Jason would like interrupt him. Now, he did tell really interesting stories. He's apparently been a successful actor for a long time. Talked about his wife, his 2 kids that are away at college. One's even at freaking not Harvard. What's the other one that's really big? He's at some really, or she maybe is it some really big university? It starts with an L, I feel like. Anyways. But it was good. I did watch the documentary, the 3-part documentary. No, not Duke. None of his kids go to Duke, actually. No. That's gonna drive me nuts though. Is somebody gonna tell me Mike White was on Survivor too? I know, but was he on as a celebrity or as a normal person? Harvard, Yale, that's where he's at. I was about to type in Harvard and it's Yale. Yes, he or she, one of his college kids is at Yale. And the other one, I forget what they said. I feel like it was more in England though, but I can't remember. Oh my gosh. Okay. Did y'all watch this documentary yet? I think it came out yesterday or maybe the night before at like midnight. It's on Netflix. It's called Bad Influence. It's about kids being influencers. I don't know where my head's been, I guess in the sand, but I'm pretty happy about it because I had never heard of this Piper Raquel and the squad before. So Piper Raquel is a girl who's almost 18 years old in real time. And she had a mom that was a single mom, kind of struggling to raise her. She immediately got her into like modeling and competitions as a kid, all the toddlers and tiaras, basically think about all of that jazz. And it seems like when she was maybe 5 or 6, she started doing a YouTube channel. I mean, very quickly, she got like 1 million followers or subscribers on YouTube. So there's no doubt about it. As a kid, very cute, very much outgoing, very open to being on social media and all that. But this mom took it way too far in a lot of ways. From a business point of view, they even give her credit. So she is not interviewed at all. Her young boyfriend, who was the camera guy and the editor and kind of the social media brains behind it all, like the hashtagging, the names, the thumbnails, making these little girls like sexy at 11 years old and have crushes and kissing boys on camera and talking about boyfriends. And so, yeah, at 11. And the boys were often like 13 and 14. So, but a lot of this started happening or got really big during the pandemic. Well, apparently a lot of people got really big then. I don't know where I was, but I definitely I didn't even have a TikTok during the pandemic. I don't think I started TikTok till maybe, I don't know when I got an account, maybe 2022. I don't even remember. But anyways, she was huge on YouTube. The mom has a real knack for like marketing and what people want to see, the titles and all that. But it's clearly not geared towards children. They did a stat, I forget what it was, but a lot of these little kids, influencers, whatever, have a huge population and their audience is older men. So if you catch what I'm saying, it's really, really, really disgusting. But also, one of the things they talked about is one of these men allegedly became like her super fan stalker. Her name was Megan on YouTube, but she would spend a ton of money. It ended up being a man. Shocking. Spend a lot of money. And one of the trailers, one of the videos that's going around is how one of the girls that was involved in the squad, so I'll explain the squad in just a second, because really the mom had the brains behind all of this, but took it way too far and really, really, really nasty. So some of this I'll have to talk in code because you just can't say on YouTube and such. Anyways, okay, so by the time she's like 8, 9, 10, she gets the idea that a lot of these people, almost like old school, what were the people doing? These influencers that would like rent a mansion and like a lot of them would live together and they would make content. Well, a lot of those people were like in their young 20s, which is already questionable at best, right? But the fact that these two moms both rented or bought whatever a mansion and started living together, and her daughter, yeah, hype house, if you will, like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, all those people making just hand over foot money. I mean, $600,000 a month. I can't even fathom that amount of money, but you have to understand it was at the heyday of it all. And it's before all the allegations had come out. So all these people wanted to work with this cute little girl, right? She had had this Disney show that was on, it's called Manny, about a male nanny. And then it was a big show, but it was on the internet. Okay. So it wasn't on necessarily Disney, but they're filming all this stuff. The mom ruined that though by getting basically jealous that this other actress was getting more lines than her daughter Piper. So, she was the momager, but she didn't always come at things the best way. So she has the idea to kind of follow what a lot of people have done. Think modern day mom talk, okay? And a lot of people tried to copy this. I tried to make a Pearland mom talk because I was like, oh, let's get together. This would be so fun if other people want to get together and, make content, just, make new friends. It didn't really go anywhere. And I don't think anything else has. But mom talk has become huge. And that's what these young 20-something young moms from, Salt Lake City, how that became mom talk. And then they do content together. They got a documentary series, all the things. So, but think 9, 10, 11 years old for the girls. And the boys were often, like I said, 13 and 14 years old. Super cute, super pretty, the cute hair. The girls are wearing the little mini shirts. Yes, at like 11, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. The mom definitely knew what she was doing. She also ends up being in a relationship with this very young guy that, his name is Hunter. He wasn't interviewed. The mom's not interviewed. Hunter's not interviewed. Piper's not interviewed. A lot of the moms that are interviewed and the kids are part of the 11 that end up suing her. And I think that lawsuit got dismissed, but I'm not really sure. It's only 3 episodes. They're about 45 minutes. It is on Netflix. It's called Bad Influence. If you look up Piper and then Rockelle, she has like 12 million subscribers on YouTube, like 15 million almost on TikTok. She was making like 4 and 5 TikToks yesterday. I think her YouTube is permanently demonetized, which means YouTube has decided you got too much going on. Maybe your content wasn't necessarily bad, although showing the bra and the thumb. I mean, they did everything to entice. Everything was, boyfriend, crush, all this sexy stuff, very much sexualizing these little girls and the boys and making them all be in these relationships. So whether it was real or not, it seemed like a lot of these people were also like spending the night at the house. They didn't really say the boys were, but the moms make it very clear that if Piper's mom didn't like you, her name was Tiffany. If she didn't like you, she made it to where nobody else could talk to you. You couldn't be on set. She was basically, they were all using each other, right? These are all kids that were either already actors and maybe the pandemic shut everything down. But they definitely all had their YouTubes. They had their aspirations. They wanted to be famous. They had already started. And they saw how huge Piper was. So they knew that making content with her, and then eventually Piper would also promote their YouTube channel or their shows, right? And then Piper's mom and the boyfriend, the guy behind the camera, and also egging on all these relationships and kissing and all this stuff, was getting a cut of their money. But it was all a big payout because even some of these kids who weren't as huge as Piper and never became as big as her, but a lot of them or at least some of them hit 1 million subscribers. They were all making like $50,000 a month. 14 years old, and these kids are making $50,000 a month. I don't know when they were going to school. They were like cramming in their online work in the morning. Then they would like start at like 11 in the morning, end at like 1 a.m. They said there was really never any food out. Clearly, the moms weren't allowed to be in this main house and see everything that was going on. So they could sit and watch the videos that were put up, but they may not know all the coaxing and the real nastiness that was going on behind the scenes, which if you get to episode 3, that's where you're like watching like this, because it really gets graphic. And I think if this would have went to trial, some of the kids were ready to talk even more. So you have to understand how young these squad members were. Okay. So they were invited in by Piper's mom. Piper never went to public school. So these were pretty much her only friends. They were working so much, but they also called it fun. But at one point it becomes a lot of work, right? But if they had an out, or if the moms or something caught wind of something that they didn't like that was going on, if they brought it up to Piper's mom, she would immediately kick them out. They were out of the squad. She would text the whole group and be like, hey, making up names. Walter's not in the group anymore. Please don't talk to them. Unfollow them on Instagram. Well, all of a sudden, those were Piper's friends. And then all of a sudden, because her mom is a dickwad and disgusting and doing foul things behind the scenes, but yet in front of everyone, but she wasn't allowing the parents on set. And I say on set, it was really a house. And there's a girl named Taylor Lorenz who's huge. She's written books. She's been whatever. She actually interviewed me. She's in the documentary, all 3 parts. She wrote a book called, oh gosh, it was something like Always on the Internet or something like that, if I looked her up. Anyways, years ago, she was a writer, I want to say at, Taylor Lorenz, Lorenz, American journalist and commentator. I can't find the book she wrote, but it was some book or something. It's about being on the internet. She's huge about social media and the safety of it. So you have to understand, there's a lot of laws that are put into place now to protect children. Make sure they're not working too long. Make sure they have a teacher on set. Make sure there's food. Make sure there's no people around them that can do physical harm, emotional harm, anything. Make sure they're getting paid. Make sure their parents are legally putting money aside for them. They're not spending it all and taking it all as their manager. But a lot of that there's loopholes for it, because this internet, this social media, this influencer stuff, they're filming in their house, in their bathroom, in the backyard, at a mall, going to get their nails done. I mean, you just can't control all those work whatevers. It's very out of control. So Taylor, years ago, I think I posted a picture, or, like I said, years ago, my Instagram and YouTube was called 4 Girls and a Boy Official. I just followed like mom stuff and, sarcastic stuff. Well, there was like this debate about how parents go and meet their kids for lunch and if they should or not, and if that sets boundaries. She must have seen my comment somewhere and reached out to me. It's like, hey, can I interview you? I just want a quick soundbite on how you feel about having lunch with your kids at school, whatever. So that's when I first learned of her, but now she's like huge. So she's in this documentary basically talking about how we've got to get new laws about this, but it's kind of the wild, wild west. Like you just can't, it's hard to control, right? But finally, when these people would leave out of the squad, they get kicked out basically for even suggesting that they didn't like something, or suggesting that their kid was not being treated fairly, or being yelled at, or something was really gross, like asking them to kiss boys on camera, like at 11, So finally, the parents started banding together and talking. And that's when they realized, oh, like this is really bad. This is really going on. One of the videos going around is so disgusting. There's a mom. So the Piper's mom and this other girl's mom, Sophie, both couldn't afford. They were both single moms. They both couldn't afford to live in Hollywood. So they both agree to rent or buy it. They never really say, this really nice house in Hollywood. Safe, great for influencing, great for making all their content, all the things. So that's kind of where they did all their work, right? But they lived there. And they were seeing even more behind the scenes about how Piper's mom was treating her, how Piper would inappropriately come on to the girls, come on to the guys, talk about sexual things with them. So one of the things, this girl Sophie, she happened to be with Tiffany or Piper's mom, and she's like, "Oh, I got to go mail this stuff at the post office." And she's like, "Oh, okay, what is it?" And she could tell it was like panties. Panties. She's like, "What? What are you? Why are you mailing panties?" You have to understand these girls were like right now, Piper is almost 18 years old, which is about to change everything because you can imagine she's about to join OF, I'm pretty sure, and just explode and make all this money from nasty old men. Um, but her friend Sophie is like, "Why do you have her panties?" And she goes, "Oh, I just mail it out to people. You know, some people like to smell girls' panties." I mean, seriously, when I tell you this documentary is probably just the tip of the iceberg. I feel like the moms of the former squad members probably don't even want to know the extent of what their kids experienced, heard, saw, because they probably blocked it out as much as they can. But I really think if this would have gone to trial, which I think it got dismissed, which I don't really know what that means. Does that mean there wasn't enough proof? I'll have to go back and research that part a little bit because by the time I got to part 3, it really opened up and I was like, "Oh my goodness." Like, it was just gross. But you think about and they even bring this up that the moms were, like, blaming themselves and like, "We wish we'd have known. We can't believe we let our kids get involved in this." It was girls and boys, but the girls were always of the younger age. And I have to tell you, w as gross as it sounds, even the boys that were older, they always look younger. And that's always how acting and all modeling and all that stuff works for a couple of reasons. For one thing, for the gross part of it, nasty people that like to take these images and repost them, which people do, obviously, and the thumbnails, which is the little picture that you see on YouTube, they would make it very enticing, very sexualized little girls, right? But they were playing into it too. I mean, they were hugging and kissing and doing these fake marriages and these fake relationships. And sometimes they really were with the people. But when the girl is 11, I'm like, ew, that's like fifth and sixth grade. And they're hugging all over a 13 or 14-year-old boy, which is, again, a very pivotal age. Like an 11-year-old boy is different than a 13 or 14-year-old boy, right? It was, oh, I mean, all I could think about was how I didn't know anything about that. But then I realized, oh my God, how many people do I watch on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram that are showing their families? So even if it doesn't get creepy and gross and sexualized like this mom did and all the other kids did it because they felt kind of harassed into doing it, you know, to make the money and stay in the videos and the fame and all of that. um, you still wonder if the kids are doing videos they don't want to do, if they're showing emotions they don't want to do. What's the Ruby Frankie? I mean, those videos, we now know that she was like literally, you know, not even feeding some of them, like punishing them. She was what she was showing people on their YouTube family vlog was 1,000 times worse than was actually going on in the background. But then I started thinking about all these other people. I mean, like, what is real? You know, we don't ever know what's really real. And when you put kids into this kind of unknown where it's literally the wild, wild west, there's no control over how much they're working, how they're treated, if they're fed, if they're paid. And it definitely came up that the moms felt guilty and they felt like they had let their kids down. Oh, for sure. Lisa says every parent's nightmare, you would think. But again, their kids were stuck in that of like, I'm doing my dream. Like, I want to build my own YouTube channel. I want to do my own content. I'm getting famous. They're hanging around with Piper. They're making tons of money. But then it wasn't so fun. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Where did that come from? Yeah, exactly. Ann said, well, but it's not only that. Ann says, I'm glad I don't know anything about this. I live in rural areas. But I mean, there's a lot that goes on in rural areas. And now with the the invention of social media, anyone can have a camera. Anyone can throw their kids on camera and they can be saying and doing things they don't want to do, right? It's really gross. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I think the more that comes out with this documentary, the more interviews, all that stuff, I think as the kids get older, a lot of the kids are like 17, 18 right now. They're not that old because the height of this was like 2019, 2020, 2021. I think in 2022 is when the lawsuit came out against all the people that have been kicked out of the squad over the years, but they would just replace them. So every time you think, oh, these people have done terrible things, nobody wanted to believe them. They really thought Piper's mom, any of the bad stuff they'd heard, they were like, well, but my kid's going to be famous. Well, they're going to be doing their dream. They're going to be making money. You know what I mean? No, none of them are Mormon. They didn't talk about religion at all. And trust me, none of it is about, I mean, one of the videos I saw, so I went down the rabbit hole of looking at Piper's YouTube and her YouTube I looked at last night. She really hasn't posted on YouTube since December, I think. She did like a Christmas haul or what she wanted for Christmas. But see, YouTube made the decision to permanently demonetize. So she is not making any money there. So there's no reason for her to post a video over there because she went from making $600,000 a month to making zero. So she's at 14.9 million followers on TikTok, 707 million likes. And this is her. This is her boyfriend. And, and that's what a lot of kids like to watch. They like watching these teenagers but you have to understand. People love to spread rumors. She did one about the Bible.
We can kind of do it together because I found this cool hack on TikTok and I think we could all do it together. So here's an easy life hack.
That was one day ago. So I'm telling you, she's very, very active on TikTok, definitely making shit tons of money there. She doesn't go to school. And then there's another app that I couldn't find anything about, but I can tell you, if you see this on your bill and you've got a straight husband, I should say, it was called like Brand. It's kind of so OnlyFans, you have to be 18 to be on. But there's another app that's very similar to that she's been doing for a couple of years called like Brands something. I can't remember what it was called. I'd never even heard of it. It's very similar, like very sexual, very whatever. Definitely men are paying for this. And that's honestly where you get in trouble with a lot of things, right? Like, I mean, let's face it, lots of nasty stuff. Thank you. Debbie is like, are you new, Debbie? I've never seen that last name here. Debbie says, hi, everyone. Hit the likes for Sarah. It was number 53. Thank you. There's 171 people on live right now. It would be amazing if every one of you would hit the thumbs up button either now or when the show is over. What does that mean? Charlie says, I don't trust Disney. Call me crazy. Well, I mean, you saw all the stuff, right? My friend Sarah Fraser did a great interview in that documentary that came out about all of that on Nickelodeon, like was awful. So it's inundated with child predators. And the more and more they try to get that all cleaned up, but not. Oh, Debbie says, I've been on about 19 times. Oh, I love that you know the number. I was part of the Islands in Canada discussion. Oh, that's right. Thank you. You taught me about Canada. Yes, Cecile says, remember Nickelodeon and all of that with that guy. And that guy even he was a sexual offender and he still got hired to be a dialect coach on other shows and be on set with kids. And again, that show had a mom that actually raised heads, and she called out, hey, no, my son shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be doing that. And whatever, called it all out, what they were doing. And she feels like he was blacklisted, and they don't have a good relationship either. So it won't let me hit the like button. And I wonder why. Well, I don't think when you're in it, it even has the like button. I'm not sure. I think you have to X out and hit the X and then come back, or just do it before. Anyways, yes. Oh, Walt Disney. Sarah said there's a whole movement about Walt Disney being a nasty person and sexual imagery in the films. Oh, ew. Anyway, I agree. I have to agree. Maybu says parents are just as much to blame pimping their kids out. And like I said, they do touch on that as part of the documentary, show lots of the comments, people, and then just the hate and the bullying, the online bullying of these kids that would get kicked out from the squad, taking Piper's side and not knowing the whole story. And, they would say that Piper's mom would have people come at their accounts and bots and all that. I mean, it was just awful. But you have to realize these kids are like 11, 12, 13 years old reading all these comments and negativity. Like, you can't even imagine. It's such a different world. Anyway, so let me know if you've watched it. Again, it's called Bad Influence on Netflix. 3 episodes, about 40, 45 minutes each one. So, okay, let's chat 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day Diaries, season 6. I finally watched episode 1. They're going to show a lot of people. They showed a preview for the season, and they're going to show a lot of couples. Now, I remember them doing 90 Day Diaries during the pandemic. It was a way for them to not have crew, for them to stay safer, but yet still give us new content and update us on their lives, right? So why they're still doing this, I don't know. But one thing I noticed with a few of them, so in part 1, on episode 1, they show Chantel. She's the one that was married to Pedro. They've since divorced. She even had a spinoff called the Chantel Family, or was that the name of the family? Chantel's her first name. I feel like it was her last name. Whatever it was. She had a show on her family. Robert and Annie, who I see all the time. I love this couple. They do pillow talk a lot. I did not know that in 2022 they lost their 7-month-old son. So I'll tell you how that happened and everything in a second. Then Jenny and Sumit, they're the ones with a 30-year age gap. He actually catfished her when they first met on social media. So she lived in like San Diego, I think, in America. He lived in India. She thought he was a white guy with the name of, like, I forget what it was, Michael Foster or something, like some cute young guy, which I'm like, he is young enough to be your kid, for one thing. Then she says, oh, I fell in love with him already. What the hell, you fallen in love with him? You've never even met him. Gross. He finally comes out that he's Sumit, that he lives in India, but he didn't come out that he was married. So he'd already had this family wedding that was set up and planned, but he was unhappy in the marriage. They didn't have any kids yet. Then they finally let him know, oh, she's not just my friend from America. We're actually in love. We want to get married. Well, Sumit even now is only 36 years old. So he was even much younger years ago when they were first on 90 Day Fiance. The parents are very traditional, very much concerned about wanting him to have kids. What is the family going to think? What is our country going to think? What is our neighborhood going to think? I mean, it was very much all of that. Now, Jenny and Sumit's mom are besties, and they're out like shopping together. But the weirdest thing is, like, you see them with their little selfie stick recording themselves. And like, so in particular, you see Jenny and Sumit's mom at a mall, and you see the camera, you see somebody is over here. And I'm like, well, then who's over here recording? Like, it seems like a pretty steady camera. It seems like a pretty high quality camera. They seem to be hearing the audio that they can do. So it's like, do they not have crew? Do they have crew? It's weird. When they're at their house, like Chantel at one point opens up and she's sitting on her bathroom floor in a very small bikini or bra. The girls are talking to you. They're like pushing up in your face pretty much. Um, and she's showing herself, but then there's another camera, showing another angle. So I'm like, well, are they filming themselves? Is somebody else there? Are they helping them out? So I don't know why. It's almost like the janky version. Like, why do other people get a camera crew and all of that? And these other people have to walk through a mall, holding a selfie stick like a dork. I'm like, oh my God. Like, Jenny, you are 65 years old, honey. What are you walking around with a selfie stick recording yourself for TLC? I mean, does it pay that much? I mean, I don't know. It's so, oh my gosh. Did you watch Survivor: An Amazing Race last night? Oh, because Lisa watches it. The race results left me so sad. Uh-oh. Oh, with who must have gotten out? Oh my gosh. It's a book I don't read to my grandchildren, Christina said. Wait, what book? Because now I'm wondering if it's a gross book. Wait, what? The author of Alice in Wonderland had a thing for Alice, so he wrote her a story. Oh, had a thing for Alice. Well, isn't Alice a make-believe? Wait, what? I don't even know. So weird. There's probably so much grossness out there. Ugh. So weird. Okay. Chantel. I don't even know what to believe. She has this birthmark that as she's gotten older, I guess it was on her when she was born. Obviously, it's a birthmark. It is below her belly button, right above the hoo-ha. It looked like a bunny rabbit when she was a baby, her mama said, but now it's kind of a big bunny rabbit that doesn't look like that. She claims that the first time she was intimate with her ex-husband, Pedro, that when he saw it, he physically cried. I'm sorry. You are a beautiful woman. You were trying to be a nurse. Big breastises. I mean, there ain't no man gonna cry about a birthmark on your belt. Like, it wasn't that dramatic, honey. Like, we saw the whole thing. You showed us it all. But she wants to get it removed, so she actually goes in. They show it. She gets a mini tummy tuck. She didn't exactly need the tummy tuck, but her body has definitely changed over the years that she's been on 90 Day Fiance. Way more curvier, way bigger, which I think is the fact that somebody DM'd me yesterday and was like, are they real boobs? I'm like, well, how would I know? I mean, I don't think she's ever talked about it, but even when she was tiny with Pedro, and then on this other one of the single life that they did, where she met some dude, remember the soccer player dude? She was still small, but I think she's always had big boobs. I think they're natural. I just think as she's gained weight and gotten a lot curvier, she's definitely bigger up there. What was the Danielle special? Christina says, have you seen the Danielle special from 90 Days? She was married to Muhammad. Now, I remember a Muhammad, and I remember a Danielle. Remember, she had 2 or 3 little boys, kind of teenage boys. And that was all during the pandemic, because didn't they get married in her backyard? Like in a very safe, pandemic friendly kind of way. I thought they already divorced. I don't know what the special is though. I mean, there's so many. And honestly, I record all these shows and then fast forward. So unless I see the commercial or the ad or see something on a Instagram, I can't even keep up with all the shows. What they need to do is all call them 90 Day Fiance and make sure if you have it set up to record, that it records everything, right? Because that's how they get me, is if it shows up on my DVR, I'm going to be watching it. You know what I mean? Somebody says, Cecile says they're not natural. Well, I don't know. I think they're huge. I think they are natural. I think her mom has big boobies too. I don't know. Anyways, she gets it done. Looks great. She's got a tiny little scar. All of the birthmark is gone, and she got her waist kind of snatched. So she looks good. I don't really know what's going to go on, but she is 33 years old now, looking for a man. So she's looking to show that scar to somebody. Okay, Robert and Annie. This is a guy who has 4 adult kids. So he's already been there, done that with women. I don't really remember, but I think he was like an Uber driver during the pandemic. Like, so he, his career wasn't exactly whatever. That's probably why they do so many 90-day pillow talks, right? But there's like a 10-year gap between them. She's very sweet. They kind of joke a lot. He has a son named not Brandon, Bryson or something like that, that seems to be like 9-ish now. Anyways, that I think they have full custody. They raise, and then together they had a little girl. Well, very soon after they had the little girl, she got pregnant with a little boy. 1 month after having the baby boy, they found out that he was sick and that he had heart issues. So apparently it's called Danon disease, Danon. I've never heard of it. It's a genetic disease, which means it could happen again. He ends up dying at 7 months old after being in the hospital. So he was in the hospital like 5 months. If I ever heard any of that, I don't remember any of that. I don't follow the 90-Day Fiance people. There's so many. I follow so few people because the people that I follow post so many stories and so many reels that it would just stress me out to think about keeping up with all of them. But they really went into detail. It was very heartbreaking. I was literally crying. Robert got emotional. Annie's pretty much saying, look, I know I'm pregnant again. They're having a boy again. She's like, I don't want our baby boy to think that I'm replacing him or that I'm forgetting about him. And Robert's like, we'll never forget about him. It was very sweet. Very, I love this couple. Like, I think they're one of the ones that's always going to make it. I hope. Jenny and Sumit. Okay, like I said, she's 65 now. He's 36. He's kind of always been on and off with jobs. Like, I think he's had issues. One of the first things I remember is he did like a customer service, like call center type thing when they first met. So he worked kind of middle of the night for Indian hours, but that was the, daytime hours for in the US or whatever countries that called in. Then I remember they were going to start a business and he was kind of cooking Indian food. And they had this kind of tiny, not really a restaurant, not a food truck, like a window, like a takeout window, maybe. That's what I'm kind of remembering. Whatever happened to that is no longer. Then it says, remind me, he's 36, okay? Then he had a job as a cook. And he says, I lost that job. Doesn't say how, doesn't say why, just says, I lost the job. So now he's telling 65-year-old Jenny, hey, we just moved into this gated society apartment. Like, I don't know if India's not safe, but they said it over and over. We live in a safe area now. It's very secure. That's all we wanted. We wanted a safe area. So I guess wherever they were living, they didn't feel safe. And also, she's not Indian. So there's a lot of that of like, they know instantly that she's a foreigner, right? She could be taken advantage of. So I get for those things. So they move into this apartment and then he loses his job. And so he's calling all these places trying to be a cook, but the only thing he cooks, he's not a trained chef. And she's like, I don't want to go back to work. Like, you're asking me to go back to work. Like, I don't understand. So we'll see if they end it. Yes. She said she needs to go to therapy. She might be in a grief group or something. Like Cecile says he doesn't want to talk about it. And she does. She needs to go to therapy. She's probably in a grief group or something like that, I would hope. But it's a lot. Heather. I'm like, wait, what? Heather said, Sumit called my house this afternoon pretending to be Microsoft. I was like, wait, what? Anyways, we'll see. But like Big Ed is going to be on. Who else did they show? Zayad. And what's his wife's name? Anyways, she thinks he's cheating on her. I'm like, dang. Okay, let's chat today's Jeff Lewis Live. On the first hour, like I said, this is ChumpCon Eve for a lot of the chumps, but a lot of them are starting to work because as soon as Jeff lands in Las Vegas today, him, Shane, I think, and Doug are going to have a $10,000 dinner with somebody that they've had a dinner with before. So this person has at least put $20,000 in Jeff's pocket before. Judge Lauren Lake was on with Reza Farhan. They're both coming on. So excited, got their outfits together. They announced that Oscar accepted the part-time job. So now he'll 100% be with Jeff Lewis Live now. I'm like, dude, you just graduated from college. Like, you're not 21. Like, part-time job. Like, come on, SiriusXM, give this dude a full-time job. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I realize Jeff's show only, for being a board operator isn't a full-time job, but you'd like to think they could throw him on a couple of other shows and let him do that at different times. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm like, come on, justice for Oscar. Oh, Sarah says, I need all the Jeff Lewis live news, please. Well, ask me any questions you have if I don't talk about everything. Okay, now there's 23 paid chumps. So I don't know if he had said this or announced this and I missed it. I doubt it. I think he just announced it today. I thought Jade Catapretta was always, she wasn't the first 5 or 10 announced. She wasn't on that list, but I thought Jade Catapretta at one point was a chump going. Now we know that she has a job. She's doing some, movie. He announced LaKendra Tukes is going to be there. Molly Sims is going to be there, and Liat. And then Rick Leventhal, as y'all told me yesterday, announced that he is getting paid now. So 23 chumps total. There's going to be Hot Nanny Lisa and not Lisa. What's his Heather? No. Oh geez, what's his manager's name? Oh my God, I've met her multiple times. She used to follow me and then unfollowed me. I'm like, what did that say? Geez Louise. Well, Jeff will follow her. What is her name? She's blonde. She's super cute. She's got her shit together. She and Hot Nanny Lisa are going to be taking care of everyone. I'm trying to see what her freaking name is because it's going to drive me nuts. It's got like a famous name, but she's not that person. Who knows her name? Is anyone telling me? Oh my gosh. That's going to drive me nuts because no, not Heather McMahon, but that's sounding Marlo. No, Marlo is his attorney. I know he's got so many people. Geez Louise. Oh, he follows 105 people now. But Kendra, wish they would put these in alphabetical order or something. He's been following her forever. And now, of course, I can't find out who it is. Anyways, they're going to take care of it. Make sure all the chumps. I swear I don't find it. I know. Liz Rome. Thank you. So she is Liz Rome. But you know what? He is not following her anymore. I think I don't know why. That's so weird. Wouldn't he always have followed her? That's so bizarre. I mean, I've definitely seen her on his whatever. Liz Roman, that's her name. Thank you, Jesus. Liz Roman. Elizabeth Roman on Instagram. I bet she follows him. Yes, she follows him. Interesting. Anyways, Liz Roman is going to be there. Keep everything in check, which she absolutely will. That woman's she's very got it together. So they'll be hurting all of the chumps. They will be live tomorrow doing their show. I guess did they say 12 or 17 minutes that they're going to swap out co-hosts in tomorrow? Like it'll rotate every 17 to 12 minutes. People are going to come on. Liz is an old friend of his, I think. I don't think so, but you know what? Liz Roman is really good friends with Heather McDonald, and they've stayed good friends. So, but she's also Jeff's manager. Just a little tidbit there for you. I'll watch the live after work. Whose job? Liz Roman? I mean, she's the one that, she was the one in all the meetings on all of this for ChumpCon, right? She's at the live event. She's the one that talks to the location person and all of that. You know what I mean? That's true. I don't think she liked the Chump listeners. I don't think she liked the drama. Heather says, I noticed that Mindy Cohen is no longer a regular. I mean, I think she also works a lot. I don't know. Yeah. Lincoln the Golden says, so he's spending $230,000 on talent. And I don't think he needed all that. I think there's probably 8 of them that nobody gives a shit if they come. And I'm not going to name their names because I'm just going to say, I haven't done the math, but I'm just saying off the top of my head, I think he was fine with the hardcore first 10 to 12, maybe. But anyways, definitely you need Doug there for sure. Okay, talked about Monroe and her getting into college. Monroe is 8 years old. If she is not taking dance lessons by now, unless she's just a prodigy, she is not going to college on any kind of a dance scholarship or anything like that. I mean, these kids these days are doing kids that go, not everyone, so don't come at me, but trust me, I know a lot about activities and sports and how to get your kid like in there. Kids these days are starting off hardcore by 4 to 5 years old easily. By 8 in dance, they have private lessons. They're on touring things. Like they are doing competitions. Like there's no just like, oh, once a week on Saturday dance class. No. So if Jeff wants that to happen, they're going to have to get her on the dance lessons soon. Okay, the second hour was Eden Sassoon and Kelly Wagner. These are two old friends. I think they both met in college. Definitely Kelly met him in college. Kelly was even on Flipping Out because don't forget, Kelly hired Zoila. Zoila was Kelly's employee that Jeff borrowed from her part-time and then took her full-time from him. So they're very old friends. They have not been the closest of friends for all these 30 years, but they were good friends at one point. They have a lot of history. I don't mind when they come on like once every 6 to 8 weeks. I think is plenty for them because I don't feel like they have a lot to share. It seems to be a broken record. They talk about the same things. They really kiss up to Jeff, which really gets on my nerves because it just doesn't seem natural. It seems weird. But today it was a lot of like, oh, we're not invited. Oh, why aren't we going to ChumpCon? I'm like, honey, both of you have $3,700 to buy a platinum ticket. Both of you know that if you would have just bought your hotel and airfare or hopped on a car to Las Vegas, Jeff would have let y'all go for free. Like there's no way. It doesn't cost him anything to do that, for you to be at the events, for you to be at he could have given you a chair for that. But it was over and over again. I just felt like it was annoying. Yeah. Katrina says, we started our son at 4 years old in football and track, and he fought like a dog to go play D1 athletics. Yeah. Private lessons, the travel teams, which you spend, $8,000 to $12,000 a year minimum just on travel teams for different, the travel and the fees and the private lessons. Trust me, we've done it all. Baseball, softball, choir, theater, volleyball. Geez, am I missing one? We've done everything. Softball, baseball. Did I say them all? We've done them all. I definitely know what it takes in the price of it all. Heather says ChumpCon is stressing me out. I'm not even going. I think today sounded more light. I mean, Jeff was talking about like they're going to need IVs. Chumps are going to be drunk. Chumps are going to be stealing. Chumps are going to have diseases. Chumps are going to be making out with each other. I mean, I thought all that was fun. I mean, even Judge Lauren Lake was like, y'all are all going to be out of order. Like I'm expecting that. So I really thought that was funny. Kelly's divorce is settled, but she is not actually divorced yet. They did talk about, what career she might do eventually. Jeff, okay, I want to know your thoughts on this. Jeff said he's trying something right now and he's seeing how it feels, but he wants to know what he thinks before he makes a decision. Now, I think it has something to do with NAD. I don't understand what NAD is and what peptides are. I did look it up. He kind of alluded to peptides. It's meat and milk and eggs is what I looked up. So I don't really know how that makes sense, but I do think it's an injection. I do think it's something that he's trying to do to be healthier, help his skin, help his metabolism, lose weight, all the things. Sorry, I have to fix this puzzle on TikTok or it doesn't keep my thing going. Please keep tapping the screen over on TikTok. I'd appreciate it. Thank y'all. Anyways, okay, real quick. Is Gage, he read the text. So he and Gage are back on Family Wizard, which means the attorneys, the judge, everyone can see that. So you have to know that to understand that. I don't know which one. So last night, they have kind of this 2-hour flex time where when the other dad has Monroe for the week, the other one can say, hey, this time I'd like to take her for dinner. I get 2 hours, what have you. So Jeff picked up Monroe to go to a 2-hour dinner. They went to El Coyote and had dinner, played Uno, all the things. And then Jeff was like, God, I really enjoyed that time. I'm just going to text Gage and say thank you. So Jeff read his text. Now, again, both of these men know what they're doing. This is on Family Wizard, so they're going to talk a little more respectful, a little more whatever. But it's like, which is it, sarcastic or honest? I don't know. Jeff's comment was like, hey, Gage, I just want to thank you so much. Last night's dinner. Thank you for being flexible with me. I really had a great time with her. And Gage, he says, was sarcastic. And I don't know which way to take it. I mean, I would love to think that a turn has been done and Gage and Jeff are back on better terms. I don't know. The exclamation points is what kind of got me. So basically Gage's thing was like, oh, so glad I could help, exclamation point. Glad y'all had a great time, exclamation point. Have a great night. Have a fun weekend. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, even Kelly and Eden were like, I don't know, read it again. Like, I think, what if what he thought you were saying was sarcastic and then he's responding back for you? Like, I don't know. Oh my gosh. Yes, I agree. I agree. Kimberly J says, if John Hill was on the table for making out, I'd buy a ticket. Sarah from Texas knows this well about me. On the table for making out. What does that mean? I have no idea what you're talking about. Wait, what? Like to make out with you? Oh, because we both think he's so cute. She does send me the really hot pictures of John Hill because you know he is. Okay, Mary says Gage's response was perfect, hysterical. But was he being sarcastic or was he truly being nice? I don't know. I should. Let me think what we're doing Saturday night. I'm trying to think if we have plans Saturday night or not. I know we do. It is Saturday night. I knew it. We're seeing Taylor Tomlinson. We have dinner and Taylor Tomlinson tickets, the comedian, with for my birthday and mainly for my friend's birthday. But no, this is her birthday thing only. We already had a dinner for my birthday. So many birthdays. Anyways, I wonder if they let you rewatch it. Like, I don't know. I've got a kind of a busy weekend. Yeah. So Christina says, buy a live stream ticket from Green Room 42 for John Hill's show on Saturday night. So I've never seen his show in person or the one. So I need to do that for sure. Oh, what? Oh, I need to read the chat. Chumpets are on great form tonight. Sarah says you'll have to read the live chats. The Chumpets are on great form. Ooh, I love that. What else? Gage did talk about Ty. He called him my Ty because remember, Ty was the DJ that was going to be at ChumpCon. Now that guy quit or canceled. So now it's going to be Saweetie performing. So I think that's even better. First of all, she's bigger. Shane always sings that song. Like I think it's going to be perfect. Like I think that's going to be a much better fit than whatever this guy was. You know what I mean? Oh, I love that. Southern Bell Cell says, who is on Instagram is going to ChumpCon. I want to be your friend. So if you're going to ChumpCon and you plan to post pictures or videos, if you want to post your Instagram account, either post it in comments or post it in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group if you want people to follow you and see that. Okay, Christina says you can rewatch a live stream for 24 hours after the show starts. I should. Yes, Tea with Tambo. I'm your best friend. I'm a real bad bitch. Yes. I mean, Shane is going to be in his bathing suit singing. It's going to be so fun. I am so excited for all the Chumpettes that get to go. You're going to have so much fun. Make all the memories. Meet every single chump. Take the pictures. Take the videos. Oh my gosh, you're going to have so much fun. Okay. Oh, okay. Southern Bell Cell says my Instagram is my name on here, just FYI. Oh, I know. Mabu says, yeah, give me your hints. Give me your thoughts. Mabu says, I wonder what the big drama is going to come out of this. You all know it'll happen. I definitely think somebody's going to be unprofessional. Let's just say somebody's going to disappoint Jeff Lewis. That's never a good thing. So, anyways, okay. Well, I will be on live again tomorrow, same place, same time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And have a fantastic Thursday night. See you tomorrow, Chumpettes.